What up, everybody? It's Ponter here, and today we've got a special game. It's another match mode. We played a lot of match modes on Seaside one night, and yeah, I got a lot of replays. And it's special because I didn't play this game. It's a spec game, which I mean, yeah, we're talking about the powerful inf lobby. The most powerful group of players around. Fear the inf lobby. And yeah, this is going to be a 4v4. We'll slow it down. Here's the teams. We've got Madge, Wiesig, Wally, Cat. And, looking at that, like, I'm prejudiced. I'm thinking, like, man, that's a pretty strong team right there. And we've got unranked Singularity, Seraph, Spirit Gun, and Gen X. And, like, right off the bat, I'm thinking this is not going to go well for USA side because, like, Seraph is doing his multi-roll. Like, look at this. He's getting a medium artillery off the bat, and he's the air player. It's just baffling. Like, I've never seen that before. And, Wiesik is just charging into town. Cat's kind of gone an interesting direction. And yeah, we're going to see how these teams go, and it's a 4v4, and so those are always a little bit more manageable, like, to understand. I feel like a 5v5s can be a little chaotic sometimes. And right off the bat, General X denying the cap, very critical, but he has to pull back. Air is played out, and Wally's just going like the YOLO solo kappa research is good stuff. In the meantime, Gen X spamming light tanks, which is apparently his style. And we're gonna see a lot of light tanks spam this game. And a lot of people are always talking about General X's style. I didn't really know he had a style. I thought that it's just basic, like, spamming light tanks on Seaside is what you do. So we're gonna see a lot of that. And big drop. The first initial drop come down, and no one has capped town yet. Red 4 is going for it though, and look at it. Yeah, it's just conscientious infantry player. He's got his guys in the right building. He's ready for it, and he just goes and makes the cap, and that's just what you got to do. It's so important to do that shit. Meantime, just drop battles. Beach is entirely under control and, like, uncontested, but nice switch up. Like General X switches his spawn, and this is something I should do a lot more, which is the spawn switching. I see a lot of players do that. Clears the back of it, gets rid of the annoying inf that's spread out. It's, like, impossible to kill unless you have a medium or something. So that's a good response. And it's funny, like, Wiesik has done the same thing on the research side, and Madge is spreading out, and Spirit Gun, it looks like he has a stronger position, and they do it's a risky decap, and man, that's a fast star. Like, how did he even get a star already? And yeah, USA takes the beach, and so I was watching this with a few people, and we were just chilling, and I figure I had written off USA side basically, and I hadn't even really watched. I wasn't even watching most of this because I was like, USA is probably not going to win. But apparently, unranked Singularity played a lot with General X, so these two guys know how to play together, which is very, having good chemistry is very important. Like, J-Man's always talking about the chemistry between Earl Grey and Wally, or Majestics and Wally. And I remember having chemistry with, if there's a few support players that, I can just play with and just not, like, I don't have to say anything to them. They just kind of do it. Like we didn't even need the comms to make shit happen. So that chemistry is very important. And let's see, can Blue 4, oh yeah, and this is the doubles. The double carpets, just hilarious. But even with that distraction, can they get the cap? Like, Seraph, you got to be in town to really unfortunate that they couldn't get that. Like, you should be diving for that unit in the back and hitting him with missiles. And nice clusters. And this is something I think a lot of teams fail to do, especially in 4v4s when there's a lot more open ground and a lot less units, is you got to clear and push the gas immediately as USSR. Like, if Blue 4 is usually going to be, you know, they're holding on by the fingernails in town, like it's decapped, like that's critical. You know, you're probably struggling for beach. Usually a team is just gonna assume that they're gonna hold gas station, and usually gas station by the end of the game is what gets fought over. But the earlier you can hit the gas station, the better, because, you know, and you don't need to wait to get triple forts on your fucking research. Like, just get one fort on it. That's all you need, and then go and push, throw a few units there, and, you know, air should be cleaning that up, but air's got a lot of other priorities. Meanwhile, just like one heavy is defending beach. So yeah, this by caving in the flank, Red 4 has a serious advantage, and all they really needed to do is push up in town. And, you know, I mean, if I could criticize the inf players, it's maybe the, you know, push up a little bit, but town has already been destroyed. Like, those carpets, you know, carpets do a lot of damage to buildings. Like, these buildings are already fucked. And, well, yeah, that's a troll. Like, I don't know what Wally was smoking when he called down those carpets. But I guess he assumed, like, I don't know. I gotta, like, somebody ask him what he was thinking, because those are pretty crazy. But in the meantime, USSR captured town. And again, like, look, General X, he knows I can't decap this yet because I can't defend it. So I'm not going to do shit. I'm not going to move. And, you know, if you're watching this and you're bad, you know, take that lesson. That's an important lesson. It's like, you can't decap town when you have no confidence in recapping it. And yeah, Seraph, you know, get into town. Yeah. Perfect. And they go for the cap. But can they do it? No, see again, yeah, Seraph, that's a mistake. You should be nuking this guy. This guy is critical, but he's attacking buildings. But despite that, they get the cap. Very nice. And they've gained control of gas station and another. Look at this multi-pronged. You know, this is a pretty weird armor, like APCs and medium anti-air, and I don't know about that. Like, APCs are shit in my books. Like, yeah, I guess the yeah, hilarious, absolutely hilarious. But yeah, APCs, yeah, they can shoot up, they can kill inf, they can't really do much, and they have that missile, so yeah, it's kind of nice. I'd rather have a light and a heavy, like just lights and heavies, but that's just my style. And this is nice. Oh, like when inf gets in here, it's brutal. Good cleaning up. Town is decapped again. Research has been cleared a little bit, and they're working on it, but it's still very, very strong position. You know, this is a great. Everybody, this sniper position was fucking us up in one game, so I just want to point it out. Great sniper position. Like, look at this. Just can shoot here and here. That's what you want. So guys, like, learn from Cat. That's a great sniper position. Meanwhile, Blue 4 holds town. You know, and they're staying in the game. Like, 4v4s are a little more interesting in some respects than 5v5s. Like, 5v5s, they can go sideways really for one team and roll. You know, 4v4 is a little more volatile. I feel like a lot more can change. And great denial of the cap. Like, that's what you got to do. You know, one thing to note, like, where are the heavies, man? Like, there's lights everywhere, and I understand, like, a newbie armor player is gonna just get heavies. You know, if I'm like complete utter noob, like I'm gonna wait and get my 4 heavies every time and do dumb shit like that, and then like box them and send them all to like 1 point and die. You know, that's a newbie thing to do. Intermediate armor players will mix it up. They'll get heavies and lights. In certain occasions, you know, yeah, some fort survived or some shit. Certain occasions, spamming lights is very important too, especially, you know, end of the game. But look at this comeback by USA. You know, great stuff. But sometimes, like, you don't really want to get all light tanks. Like, you need a heavy just to sit somewhere. And this is the, you know, Spirit Gun's done a great job holding Infant Town. You know, he really won the infight there. And the response is, of course, to nuke town. This is the correct response. So Wally, who has blown, like, I don't know, 75 TA on dumbass carpets already, like, within, like, the first few minutes of the game, decides to drop the nuke. USSR goes for the critical cap and gets it. Or they don't. Oh, yeah, run for a cat. Good stuff. USA, this is a good response by USA. Do massive drops, and somehow they capped the fucking TV. Like, damn. Cat's just throwing trucks. That's an interesting move, too. Yeah, Wally was completely wiped by that push. So the tank drops by General X have decapped town and continued their tick. And, you know, sometimes there's a point in the game where you're like, I don't even care anymore about giving the enemy TA. Like, I need the tick. So the tick becomes more important. And there's some nice light tank drops. And once again, like, we saw just a minute ago, General X had spawned tanks up here, and now he's spawning tanks here. So he's still shifting his spawns depending on where he wants to go next. But you know, Majestic's, he's ready. Like, he doesn't even care about repping. He's just sending in the heavy air, and once again gets air to air. Hilarious. You know, you love to see it. And finally, Unranked sends the solitary AA to chase him off. So now USSR is in a tough spot. You know, they've more than half the game is done. Somehow, USA holds research still, even though there's so much inferior from USSR, and in USSR really should control research. Like, it's kind of their gimme point. But an aggressive play by USA can take research, no problem. And good clusters here. So really, it could be anyone's game at this point. Like, USSR is coming back. At this point, we were like, damn, this is a barn burner of a game. Like, USA looked dead. Pretty dead. And yeah, we'll speed it up a little bit and see what happens. Yeah, we'll watch Seraph go in. Oh yeah, I remember laughing at Seraph about this. Like, at this point, I was getting kind of bored and just like was talking to Good Player about airplay, and we were just laughing at this. Like, I mean, this happens to everybody. It's really about cracking off those missiles as soon as possible. I don't know if he had missile cooldowns or anything like that. Like, I make mistakes like that every fucking game, it seems. And here's a nice cheeky. Oh, he doesn't get the decap, but he survives somehow. And USA is just crushing it. Like, where's the armor in town? That's what I want to know. Like, it's like both armor players like literally ignoring town the whole game, like just tossing lights in there every once in a while. And yeah, finally. But he just goes and squishes them all. Excellent Excellent squish play right there. Like, it's really hard to squish infantry sometimes. But yeah, at this point we're like, I guess USA pulled it out of the fire. Like, damn, it's good for them. Like, they looked pretty dead. But USSR, they're still in it. Like, that's a dangerous team. Like, you can't sit on your laurels in match modes. Like, you can't give a team any mercy. Because it is very, especially in 4v4s, it's very easy to come back in these. So here comes, we're spamming the heavy air supports, which, again, always happens. This is why you need an inf player to, like, still be alive. Even if they're just spamming, like, APCs at this point. Again, Seraph kind of botches it, like, you gotta toss those Hellfires into those units ASAP, or else you get cleaned up like that. Like, that's a critical... To go in on AA when there's no tank... Like, look at this. Like, there's a naked tank right here, guys. Like, kill that. Or, like, go and kill this shit over here. Like, there's so much more stuff you could kill than, like, charging triple A in the back. And, yeah, like... At this point, we're just like, imagine if General X loses this, because he's been raging the whole day. He's been just bad mannering everybody, complaining. Like, he's mad at the pubs. He's mad at the match modes. He's lost every match mode. Not really his fault. It's just like he's been on weaker teams, or like we were doing dumb shit when we were on his team. And he finally gets a game with like a decent, I mean, not the best team, but like a decent team. Like, he knows Singularity. Like, Singularity is great, and they almost killed him. And just look at this, like, just collapsed. And again, it's so easy to collapse in a 4v4. Like, if everything dies, like, how do you come back from that? Like, because by the time you respawn and you get to the front, they forwarded that shit up, and they've generated all this TA, and they're gonna like drop it all on you. Like, that was 50 TA. Like, think of what like Wally dropped 75 TAs worth of carpets, and then he dropped a nuke, and then he dropped, or I don't know, somebody dropped like 50 TAs worth of heavy air supports here. So much damn TA. And yeah, it's not looking good. Now General X is spamming lights on this side, so he switched to gas. Here's a nice, drop lights everywhere, guys. Just do it. And I don't know, I guess they botched their clusters there, but it's just decaps, that's all you need. And the forts here surviving. Desperate decap is denied, and somebody's dropping Paras. I don't know whose are those. More red for Paras. Brutal. Just brutal. And they're going for a nice cap here. Yeah, Majestic splitting, like, he doesn't have time to repair. He's got to kill that fucking tank. Good stuff. More drops, so USA is dropping, but look, it's too late. The forts are up. And again, you don't need a lot of forts. You just need one. It just makes it much more difficult. And look, you don't need buildings. You just need to spread out your anti-tanks and your Paras. And he's still got a sniper. Great. Oh, that's a great sniper spot. Just killing it up there. And Cat's also putting it up there. Excellent play by Cat. Oh, and the tick is almost over. Like, yeah, Blue 4's got no gas in the tank with just a minute left. So, this is why I think a lot of players love 4v4s. They swear by them because they're so, like, they're not as toxic and annoying as fucking 3v3s or 2v2s or 1v1s. Yeah, sure. It's a whole other game at that point. But 4v4, beautiful. And yeah, good player had missed the comeback. Because we had written off USA, and then we had written off USSR. We were confused. Like, we didn't know what the hell was going on. But just a great tight game right there. And yeah, the teams, again, not the greatest balanced of teams, but I mean, it can't be perfect. And it makes it even better that General X is raging. I don't even think he raged that much in the chat. So kudos to him for keeping his cool a little bit. And yeah, that was a good game. A good 4v4. You don't see a lot of good 4v4s. At least I haven't seen a lot of good 4v4s in the last couple of months, but this was a good one. And yeah, look at the score differentials. Oof. Just, yeah. And yeah, oh yeah, the monster. look at the capping. This is all, yeah, that's armor, man. Armor is just all about the capping. Like half his score is caps. Amazing. And yeah, Wally, even though he's wasted so much fucking TA on stupid stuff, just great. Yeah, great game. Hopefully we have more.